Hey guys, Mark from Gunpla Network here. Welcome to this review of the Master Grade RX-79G Gundam Ground Type. Big thanks to Gunpla Builds in Kogarah, Sydney for sending this kit our way for review. Check out his website in the link below, and if you're in Sydney, definitely check out the store. Okay, so first up we're looking at the inner frame. Traditionally this is just an inner frame, but this being a much older kit, it has some inner frame, and essentially the chest is actually just made up of armor, essentially. So I went ahead and just did everything, including the machine gun barrels, which if you touch those up with some paint would look fantastic. The vent, the cockpit cover. Kind of a shame. I mean, that is an opening cockpit. I could have left the lid off, I guess you'll see later. But yeah, it's just doesn't connect with the red like escape hatch below or anything. That's solid, so is what it is, I guess. Now, if we take a close-up look, this is my first experience with nut and bolt, or screw and nut on a inner frame. You can see where I've cleaned up some nub marks. Not too bad overall, but yeah, there are a few being an older kit. And on the arms and the shoulder joint there, you can see there is screws and screw and nut. All right, here it is, fully armored up. I will say, it looks good, very faithful to the anime and the line art, kind of blocky. Color correcting sticker wise, really I've just used the eyes and cameras, though I'll probably take those off at some point when I get to a repaint and reverse wash those. But for now, they look really cool. But like I said though, you might want to touch up the side of the head and the Vulcan machine guns on the chest there, like paint in some details. All right, accessories guys, and this kit comes with a lot, as you can see here. Gundam, backpack, shield, and a range of weaponry. And a little pilot figure, which doesn't come with a standing piece. So, yeah. You can always glue on some pla plate, I guess, like I usually do. All right, here it is. You get your 144 figure, and this is, I guess, it looks like Shiro Amada. I haven't painted it yet. There wasn't actually a painting guide that I saw in the book, but I'm sure you can find some reference images on site, and the standard EFF uniform is just kind of the sandy yellow, black, red, then you get your skin color for his face and black hair. So not too bad. Pretty detailed for a much older figure. Now, the beam sabers, they go in the legs, which is really cool. So you get this kind of opening gimmick, and you got to remember it's nearly a 20-year-old kid or something. They just slide, the beam saber handles, pretty standard, just slide straight down in there. Yep. And then you close up the hatch and it all goes inside. Now, I think that's really like cool of Bandai. I wish more Gundams or mobile suits had leg-mounted beam sabers. That way they're not just sitting around nowhere. Okay, so now we're up to the YHI YF-MG100 100mm machine gun. Now, this looks really cool. It's got a folding stock. It is grey, and then you've kind of got that white ammo pack, which is stored two more on the side skirts. It's got a handle. The only problem is, being an older kit, there's no locking mechanism for the hand, so struggling to hold that a bit. You had to use blue tack to get it solid. But otherwise a nice weapon. This one is the YHI FH-X180 180mm Canon. Now, this is the one you see in the anime they use when they're in like a kneeling pose and taking super long shots. Or if you see the OVA, which is Battle in 3 Dimensions, he borrows that off another Gundam to take out the enemy Zaku on the mountain up ahead. So overall, pretty cool gun. You can actually remove the ammo pack from this one. You don't get any spares, but then this disassembles and goes into the actual backpack. It's a shame I can't store any other weapons in there when you've got this in, because it takes up so much space, but it's cool nonetheless. All right, this is the biggest one that I have an issue with. The Blash BLAS HXBR-M-79E beam rifle. Accurate to what it looks like, but highly inaccurate to the colors. It's all grey. You actually now need to mask off like half the rifle to, well, sorry, it's two bits slapped together with a stock in the front, and you need to glue it together and sand it, and then you need to mask it, and you need to paint the top parts white. Now there is a camera sticker for this, but I haven't bothered to put it in because I know I'm going to grab out I'm going to try and create some separation detail around where the part should be white above, and yeah, do some painting on this later. Highly disappointing, but like I said, near 20-year-old kid or so you can't be too unhappy with that. You did get all 3 weapons. Okay, this is the RGM SH-WF/S-00109 shield. So, unfortunately, this one you can't actually not that I've seen, make it stand up on its own, but it attaches to the forearm. It's got it can rotate forward. You can see on that hinge. It's got a kind of like a point on it, so it can use it like a weapon or a shield. And you can actually attach the cannon to this and use it in a standing pose to support the cannon. Now, speaking of the cannon, and this is the container that goes on the backpack there. So, pretty cool design, except for the age. Here's the cannon. Now, yeah, that's right, the back of the Gundam. It has this kind of like I didn't realize, like, in the series, I think I finally watched this the other day and saw them, I'm trying to get this off for you guys. I saw them, they actually like cargo load it, so these are meant to flip all the way down to drop it off, and then, they push the pack onto it and it kind of conveyor belts it up onto the backpack. So that it is loose once it's open, but they do click into place on the backpack. Now, once you've got that, it's a bit tight and I'm very cautious of breaking it. These kind of pull down. Click down, there you go. Now these ones pop up at the top and then slide into place. Once again, they do have like a little kind of tab on them that they'll lock into the backpack, so they're not just swinging everywhere. Apart from that, the backpack doesn't have any articulation. The thrusters don't go anywhere. Now, yeah, very thin, and I'm obviously wearing gloves, so I can't use my nail. Use a knife to open that up. And this kind of like, again, ratchets. And there's the grey section inside, that's a separate piece, and that can hold all of the weapons. So if you break the rifle down to 4 pieces, 5 pieces, 2 barrels, yep. There's actually pretty good engineering for this rifle. Like, I throw Canon, I wish they'd done the same for the beam rifle. But yeah, you take out kind of like a bottom stock into a top stock into 2 barrels and a magazine container. Trying to push this out without stabbing myself. Now, this is the first time I'm doing this, so sorry if it's a little slow. Okay, that goes there. Probably should have put the back one in first, but oh well. So that's really cool. I dig the engineering that went into making this kit work. Like, as old as it is, it does do some things extremely well. And the backpack and ammo, like I said, if you could break down another weapon or 2 to keep in there, that would be really cool. Now those 2 holes there just click onto the backpack, and then they even went a step further, and the top and bottom tabs that you lock into the backpack now lock into the B container as well. Now this is the B container. I assume the A container is the other parachuting one, but onto the hands. Now what you get is a few pairs. You get an open hand, you get a closed fist hands, and you get the hands that you have to assemble, which are the moving hands, 3, 1, and a thumb. All of them have mold lines. I've scraped off some, but, just for time, I did a bit and not much else. So you will need to clean all of those up. All right, here it is fully loaded up. And as you can see, so he's got the beam rifle in hand, and I found he holds the beam rifle a touch better than the machine gun for some reason. But the cannon's in the backpack there. He's not tipping over, and this is moving and shaking, and he's fine. Nothing's coming off. So that's pretty good. All right, the articulation. So obviously, being an older kit, he doesn't have a whole lot of articulation. So if we look at the head, he can kind of look down a bit. It's just a ball joint. He can look up a bit, and that's kind of it. He can side to side a little, turn around, yes. The cockpit does actually open, that hinges upwards, and you can see your pilot figure Shiro Amada seated inside. Now that's actually not too bad detail. You could paint that up pretty nicely if you wanted to leave this open, and it's actually a decent amount of light and space to see in there. The arms are pretty old. The shoulders actually have like a hexagonal tab that goes inside the arm there to hold those in a bit. Okay, you can put the arm up near parallel, not quite. It rotates on a peg. On the shoulders, you actually get two tops. I've used the flat squarish box ones, and you get a round type of hard point that goes on the shoulder. So you got two choices there. Waist, bit of a wobble. I found once he's got the pack on, my waist is loose now from holding that up. The thrusters don't do much. They should be red inside as well. The side skirts, they're just a peg into a polycap, so they can go up a little, rotate, and that's the ammo packs I was talking about. So you pull those down and they just slide into place like they do on the machine gun. The front skirt, just a ball joint, goes inside, nothing exciting. Unfortunately, being a ball joint hip to the top of the leg, you don't get a whole lot of articulation there. So the leg does go up a bit. It can go up like that, and that knee cover with three kind of pegs coming out of it for the kneeling position, that moves a bit as well. That actually not detaches but moves. The ankle isn't bad. It's got that like a moving piston inside. He can get a pretty good lean forward going. Those are all yellow pieces that are separate there on the knees. You've obviously seen you've got the beam saber gimmick that opens up on the side. That's why that cover's moving when I'm touching it. So one was loose, one is tight. I don't know what's happened there. Maybe I shaved too much plastic off. So that's about it. Oh, sorry, I forgot the arm bend. It's actually pretty good, and there's a piece of armor covering the back of the thing there. Unfortunately, one thing they didn't do was the opening, like the dust cover and the machine guns. All right. Here it is, and I can't recall if this is from the OVA or from when he's facing off in the Easy 8. Yeah, but you can get the two-handed beam saber kind of hold where he's looking ahead. So pretty good. And the beam effect parts are a cool pink color. Now here it is. You can actually do this pose where you can have him with the backpack open. I've stacked the other weapons just inside. He's kneeling, and he's got the cannon on top of the shield. There's a bracket there, or a connector piece that you get, so that wasn't too bad. And he's kind of posed in my cabinet at the moment, similar to that. Standard kind of pose. I've rotated the shield forward with the beam rifle. So overall, I mean, I think this was a pretty fun build. It wasn't too bad. It was my first experience with screws. If you're a novice builder, I wouldn't worry about it. You'd muck your way through this. It's fine. It's nothing too difficult. Just follow the instructions. Here it is with the machine gun. Now that stock can rotate out, and it doesn't actually click into anything. It doesn't help. It just kind of looks cool. But really, if you wanted to get 3 of these things, you could have like the 08th team, or maybe get some other numbers and put water slides on, because this comes with dry transfers. But you can make an actual Gundam team. They don't have a 1/100 hover tank that I'm aware of, so that'd be a bit of an issue. But otherwise, this is really cool, guys. I do appreciate this kit for its age. All right, there it is. Everything that it comes with, and yeah, I'd get it. It's definitely a kit that I like having now, but we all want that 2.0, Bandai. Where is it? With the MG's quality that you've pumped out these days, we can definitely get a 2.0 of this. That would be really cool. We've proved he can pull off this pose now, but it would be much better in a newer kit. Some stickers, some dry transfers. Overall, definitely a good kit if you can find it. I think I've seen a blue logo version, and someone mentioned they'd actually changed the hands, like they didn't have mold lines on them in the newer release versions, but I haven't seen that, so it's something I've just seen. Big thanks to Rypla Builds in Sydney for sending this over. Check out the web store below or in person if you can. And I'll catch you in the next review, guys. Bye-bye for now, and keep building.